Hi, I'm Matt. I've been a pizza delivery guy for almost 2 years, and in that short amount of time, I've seen a lot of strange things. I was literally robbed on my first day of work. They took all my money, and I quickly learned that that was a very common thing that happened to pizza delivery guys. One time, I delivered 5 boxes of pizza to a house in a college campus, and as soon as they opened the door, I got pulled in by 5 beautiful sorority girls. They led me to the basement, and I thought I was getting captured. My heart was pounding so fast, I couldn't tell if it was with excitement or fear. Turned out, their sorority was holding a puppy party for the local pet shelter. There were dozens of puppies toddling and barking and playing about, waiting for anyone to adopt them. All night, I was surrounded by giggly girls and playful pups. I ended up adopting one, actually. I named her Lucy. There was another time when someone ordered 10 boxes of pizza and they didn't have an address. They just sent me the street and told me that they were in a black truck. I walked up cautiously when I spotted it, and I had a huge laugh when I finally saw that the truck was a pizza truck, and they'd run out of pizza and couldn't make any more. They gave me a massive tip for saving their night. I have to say, the weirdest so far was when I was delivering pizza to this guy who lived in the middle of nowhere. I knocked once at the door and I could immediately feel something was off. The door was ajar, and someone in there was grunting and making loud banging noises. Come in! I pushed the door open hesitantly, and to my horror, I saw that the house was an absolute mess. Furniture was overturned, bottles and glasses were everywhere, and there was a guy in the middle of it all, tied to a fallen chair with his phone in his hand and his face on the floor. I didn't know who else to call. Just need a bit of help here. My date robbed me. You need me to call the authorities, man? Already did, but I figured pizza delivery was gonna get here before they ever did. And he was right. I helped him out of the ropes, and we even had time to make coffee before the sirens came. But it's not all fun and games and excitement in a pizza delivery guy's life. I was pretty much struggling all throughout. My boss was kind of a monster. She took half of my tips for no reason. She always demanded that I work overtime, even though I spent most of my time just sitting around. And I gotta be honest, our pizza was not great, and the amount of complaints we got was astronomical. I'm surprised we were even making any money. There was one guy who ordered pizza once and just did so he could throw it in the trash right in front of me. I need you to stay till 10 tonight. I'm sorry, boss. I can't. You can't or you won't. Please, boss. I booked this time off a month ago. I wasn't even supposed to come in today, but I did it because you said you badly needed the help. And there hasn't even been a single order in. It's not a request, Matt. It's an order. It's my little sister's birthday, boss. I promised I'd take her to Mary Potter Land for the weekend, and we have an overnight train to catch. Not my problem. Stay or don't come back here. That's my final word. And don't forget to lock up. She left and tossed me the keys. I was honestly torn. I didn't want to disappoint my sister again, and after the months of me saving up for the trip, I was starting to really doubt if the minimum wage was worth it. But before I could make up my mind, the phone rang, and I had my first order of the night. I walked up to the house in awe. I couldn't believe my eyes. It was a palace compared to the other houses I passed. It stood on a cliff that overlooked the ocean, and I'd never seen a more lavish villa. Before I could even ring the doorbell, the door opened and 3 beautiful girls greeted me with smiles. Oh, I forgot my wallet. Mine's in the kitchen. Mine's in my room. You want to come in for a second while we go get our money? Who would say no? They were pretty, and it sounded like there was a party going on inside. Tyra showed me to a couch, and I saw through the glass wall that there was a wild scene happening by the pool. There must have been about 100 people dancing, and one guy was standing on top of a treehouse about to jump into the pool while the rest cheered him on. Want something to drink? Maybe a bite to eat while you wait? Thank you, but she shoved it in my mouth before I could even finish talking, and it was heavenly. I never knew food could taste that good, whatever it was. Even the air there felt, smelled, and tasted expensive. Rich people really are lucky. The other two girls reappeared with the money. They paid me for the 20 boxes of pizza, and they were about to hand me over a thick wad of cash as a tip when they suddenly took it back and gave me a teasing smile. Why don't you stay a little longer? Yeah, party with us for a little. That's a very kind offer, girls, but I've got a train to catch. Promised my little sister we'd take the train to Mary Potter Land for her birthday. You want the tip? I nodded. Then you gotta play. This tip alone is worth 10 days in Mary Potter Land. How about you skip the train and we'll take you there in the morning ourselves? Don't judge me. It was the biggest tip I'd ever seen in my life. And besides, I was gonna get fired anyway, so I said yes. I spent hours dancing and having fun with the girls at their party. I met so many college girls and models. They even threw me into the pool and chanted my name when I beat one guy at Tekken. It was the most fun I'd had in months. Only, I didn't remember what happened after. I just woke up with the sun on my face and a dog tugging at my pants. I was face down on the lawn right next to the swimming pool, and there were at least 20 other people who were passed out like I was. The girls made good on their promise. They took my sister and I on the trip. Naya was mad at me at first for missing her party, but as soon as she heard that we were going on a VIP tour instead of the economy tickets I could afford, she quickly forgot about being annoyed at me. I did find it odd that the girls made a quick stop at a pawn shop, but when we were welcomed into our VIP cabin on the train, that became the farthest thing from my mind. They served us unlimited buttermead and chocolate frogs and gummy beans all the way to the theme park. And when the train journey finished, we rode on a horseless carriage all the way to the hotel. And it wasn't just any hotel. We got to stay at the very top of the astronomy tower in the castle. We spent the whole weekend going on rides and waving our magic wands, and when the weekend was done, my sister hugged the three girls as if they were her fairy godmothers. It was the most amazing trip. But when I dropped off the girls at their villa, several guys in black suits surrounded us. Catch them! The girls immediately scrambled, and if Tyra hadn't grabbed me, I would have been caught. After running for about a mile, the girls finally fessed up. That wasn't our house. Yeah, I got that part. We've been squatting at that place while the real owners were on holiday. We've kind of been squatting for 3 years now. We're thieves. Wow, okay, that's honest. And we've been observing you for weeks. We wanted you to join us. Wait, what? Don't you want to live like them? All your life, they've lived off your hard work. They own businesses that pay their workers next to nothing while they sip on expensive drinks on their balconies. Don't you want to have a bit of that life? You work hard and you're not getting rewarded. Well, here's your chance to take that reward for yourself. Rachel was right. And so I joined her, Tyra, and Kendall and became part of their team. Our first mark was my old boss, and I quickly found out how that pizza shop kept itself afloat even with a lot of complaints. It wasn't a pizza shop at all. It was a front for laundering money. And the girls broke into my boss's safe, and we ran with all the money in there. I did leave a $10 bill and a note. Here's a tip, boss. I'm not coming into work today, was what I wrote. I moved my family to a fancier house and put money in the bank for my sister's future. I disappeared with the girls. I changed my identity, and the girls gave me a complete makeover. I started working at a bunch of different restaurants as a delivery guy, and every time I was called out to deliver at a millionaire's house, I served as reconnaissance. I checked out every inch of the building, took note of all its security features, and reported back to the girls. As soon as the owners were out, we'd break in. Our targets just became bigger and bigger. One day, we decided to move our operations to Europe, where there were these just massive holiday villas that stood empty for most of the year. We stole so much stuff, we were able to buy our own yacht, and that became our headquarters. We did get into a lot of trouble. We even ended up in the Interpol's list of wanted people. But whenever that happened, we'd just contact our plastic surgeon, and when we walked out of his clinic, we became entirely different people. At some point, though, we did end up making more money than we needed, and stealing from the rich was getting tiresome. After 5 years of nonstop partying and living in other people's mansions, I felt the need to have my own home. So the girls and I decided to retire, and I proposed to Rachel. We got married in our own estate at the tip of Italy. It was a beautiful island, and all our friends and family were there. My sister teased me the whole time about not being able to recognize my face. And when the ceremony was over, I pulled my new wife close and kissed her, just as the sun was setting on the horizon.